yourselves. All right, I'm here with, if y'all can introduce yourselves.
My name is Latonja Whitaker. This is my son Zamir.
I'm Shay, and this is my son Michael.
My grandson Michael.
Okay. And I'm here at a shelter in Charlotte, North Carolina. And so I basically wanted to get the point of view of some of the women and people that are at this shelter. I'll just start off by, how did y'all end up in this situation in the shelter?
I ended up leaving my mom's house in Albemarle, New London, Dayton area, which is about maybe an hour and 3-4 minutes away from here. Mm-hmm. My mom had got sick around COVID time, and her house wasn't up to codes. So we tried to help get her house fixed from a hole in her roof. Ended up bringing me to Charlotte. I ended up not having enough money to pay for my hotel rooms because I don't have no family.
Yeah.
I was getting child support for a little bit, but then all that just, ceased at one point in time. It just wasn't enough to pay for the rooms for a whole month. Even though I cut Social Security, was doing, little jobs and stuff. I'm a mother of 5, so.
How old is?
Wow.
21.
It was a lot. It was a lot. I had friends and family was trying to help and everything, but ultimately it was draining to them too.
Yeah.
So I ended up coming to the shelter, and when I first got here, it was horrible. It was horrible because I couldn't get into the shelter, and I couldn't understand how a mother of 5 could. Y'all had absolutely nowhere to place us.
Yeah.
So it just seemed like day in, day out, I just kept coming back. And still nothing. They didn't have nowhere to place us. Called the 211, coordinary entry. Then one day my daughter fell in the parking lot, and about 45 minutes later, they called me and said that something had just came available, but it wasn't here, it was at the family center.
Yeah.
Went to the family center. Everything was okay at the family center. It was nice because I had my own room. I had a place that I was able to cook at and everything. But then my kids started getting sick and stuff. So within doing, just looking around and stuff within the room and everything, found out that I had mold stuff in the room.
Wow.
I ended up having to leave there because ultimately my kids was still just being sick. They brought me back over here to the shelter, and I ended up getting a place on the 3rd floor. I ended up moving out of here, moving into a place, but then they stopped messing with my land, which brought me back to here 2 years later, and now I'm coming back. It seemed like my family just tore apart. 2 of my children are in DSS custody right now, and I'm working on trying to bring them back home because they don't want to be at the shelter. It's just a lot.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
Do you have, are any of their fathers,
None of their fathers live in North Carolina.
and they don't help out with, child support or
My
anything?
oldest daughter's father is deceased, and my youngest kid's father just got sentenced to 5 years. So
Wow.
he's not doing nothing. His wife blocked me. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. Even, during my time with me being homeless, between the last time getting on my feet for 2 years and then coming back into homelessness, they don't have no kids together.
Yeah.
So, he claimed my kids on income taxes. I lost all my Social Security cards, birth certificates, and everything during domestic violence disputes with them. So,
Oh, wow.
within all that, I'll be just here. I'm looking for a place. I'm looking for a job. I got goals and stuff that I want to complete and everything. Make a better way for me and my kids and my grandson. And it just seems like sometimes getting ahead is not getting ahead.
Here at the shelter, do they provide any job assistance services or?
They do provide job assistance. Like I got my resume done for the first time. I'm 43 years old, and first time in my life, I got a resume done. I have dyslexia, so it's like the things that might be available to other people are not always available to me because I'm dependent on so many different areas and people of life. Just with the not knowing that it's always seeming like I'm losing instead of gaining.
Yeah.
So
I
it's been a struggle.
Yeah.
Somewhat, but I got my transcripts, so I'm looking forward to getting back into school and everything. So I've been working with some of that.
Yeah. Oh, okay. How's the school with your children? Like, were you able to?
I had
Oh,
that
okay.
experience with one of the schools around here, Walter G. Byers. I had a bus driver choke my daughter on the school bus. One of my children is in DSS custody.
Wow.
Just with McKinney-Vento, a lot of these kids, the bus will transport them anywhere, any school that they need to go to. This school's around the corner, they don't know my kids, and my kids didn't know them.
Yeah.
It started off as something that was 2 kids just playing, and I don't even understand how the bus driver got involved into the bus stop, into the situation. So whereas though all that happened, but the school didn't do anything. I think it's when you're in the middle of transition like that, they just automatically look at every child as a child's dead, and that's not the case. A lot of these children are coming from different backgrounds. You don't know what kind of background they're coming from, so a lot of them do shut down.
Yeah.
And they just brush it off like they don't resist or they don't have feelings or it's not anything like that.
Jeez. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. How's the life at the shelter? At this shelter, is it? I'm not gonna ask. I'm not.
Right. If you stay to yourself and don't be with the gossiping and trying to fit in the in crowds and the out crowds, you can make it.
Like you do see some drama, like fights and stuff like that.
But the thing for me is just seeing the ambulance and the police every day.
Every day.
It's like people going to the hospital every day. So many people are being sick. They have a company that comes in and clean and everything, but sometimes it's still not enough.
Yeah.
Like in my dorm, there's 8 other families. So where I went from dealing with just myself and my 5 children and my grandson, I've adapted to 8 other families and their 2 or 3 kids apiece, or 4 kids apiece.
And then it's hard, so you have to clean. I mean, it's not the cleaning part, but you have to suffer if everybody else is not on their job. We get put out at 9 o'clock. Yeah, they may let you in at 11 if your cubicle is clean, but if not, sometimes you have to stay out till 4:30.
Yeah, they expect you to be on one accord. So, like, out of 9 cubicles is in there, if one of them is not clean, and if they don't care if they're at work or whatever, everyone else has to stay out.
Yeah.
And it's just like, but that don't really make sense. Or, second or third shift, they may have been at work. They don't get that time in the morning. They just getting off at 7 in the morning to go rest. Like my daughter worked last night. She's up to go work. My grandson, I keep him at nighttime, so she can work even when I can't.
So
we just try to help each other.
Even with that, sometimes it's hard because it's chilly out here. You have kids that's sick. With them having to be put out. You got kids that trying to rush to give them a breather treatment, and it's a rush here.
Yeah. Wow.
But then they're dealing with so many different families, different walks of life all over. So.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. Wow. All right, because you have a son, because this is a woman's shelter, what's the age limit for young boys that they're allowed to, is there a certain age?
My son's 11, and if he was 16, he would be automatically pulled away from me as well.
Oh, wow.
They would make him stay somewhere else,
All right.
being that he doesn't have a disability.
Yeah. Have you ever seen situations where like the 16-year-old boys are put out and they don't have room at another shelter and they're just put out on the street?
Not my personal experience.
Okay. That's good.
To me, I feel like that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I think, when it's for families, I believe the families should be close knit and together.
Yeah.
I think that they should build a place that's just for them. You know, automatically for families that no one should have. I always say a family that prays together stays together.
Yeah.
We do the best.
This is the last question that I have. Your ideal situation a year from now. Hey, I know you're living at the shelter. What would your ideal situation be? Like your own house, you have your car, job, stuff like that. Would you still be living in North Carolina, or?
A year from now, I would like to see me and my family back together, living under one roof. I have a driver's license. I don't have a car. I lost my car when I was burying my dad a few years back, and I just haven't had one since. Just transportation, because that was the big thing when I was in the house. I didn't have transportation to get me where I needed to go at the time. And I didn't grow up catching the city bus, so I don't really know how to maneuver around on the bus in the city. So.
Okay.
I just feel like permanent, stable housing is the key.
Yeah. Okay.
Because he wants to keep going through this process. It's hard.
Yeah. And I know you're working, because I already talked to you about your job before we even did this interview, so I know you're working, and I know you're trying to find a job, so I'm hoping.
Go back to school.
Yeah. That's good. That's good.
If I make it, they make it.
Okay. Sounds good. Do y'all have a Cash App that y'all want to?
Mine is money sign LA tomorrow.
Okay.
And mine is money sign MYKELL MOMMY 2021. Michael Mommy 2021.
I don't know. Ultimately, sometimes I just feel like they pass us by.
Yeah.
They pass us by.
I do want to ask one more thing. The drug situation, do you see a lot of drugs, people doing drugs in the shelter that stay in the shelter?
Yes, actually, they just had someone die on Thanksgiving from an overdose.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
It was sad.
Wow.
The day before Thanksgiving was my birthday.
Yeah.
The last thing that girl said to me was, "You're doing a great job no matter what it looks like." Just wanted to bless me for my birthday. Gave me $10. The next morning I woke up and the girl was dead.
Yeah.
They had the whole shelter sad.
Yeah, I
Cried
bet.
so much.
I bet. All right. Well, thank y'all for the interview. Is there anything else y'all would like to say? If not, we can end the interview now.
I love my children. I just want my family back together.
Yeah.
I want homelessness everywhere.
Yeah. I understand.
They just need to be recognized.
Yeah.
I think there's too many abandoned buildings for there to only be one women's shelter, and too much open space for it not to be building up of new apartments and stuff like that for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. All right. Well, thank y'all for the interview.